Yes, weekend tomorrow. Oh, man.
Let's get started.
I don't think anybody's.
Hands up if you did midpoints last year and you remember it. Anyone? Anyone know what a midpoint is?
Oh, wait, no, this is a line dots.
It has to do with lines, midpoints.
Line.
Midpoint has to do with the line.
Yeah, middle of it. Yeah.
Okay. It's just the middle of it. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to firstly, as I said, my deal with notes, you can kick back, write your own notes, but I will only give out the handouts at the end of class. Okay. So we have here, this won't make sense for you now, it may not. And this rule here, same thing. Let's just go straight into the question. Find the midpoint of the line segment A, 3, 4, and B, -2, -1. All right. So let's just make a visual. When you're doing your work, please use a ruler. If I'm using a ruler, you should be too. Okay, so we have A, 3, and 4, which is up here. B, -2, -1, right here. Can someone explain to me what a midpoint would mean in this context with this graph here? Okay.
0. Oh, no one. The middle of the line.
The middle of the
The
line.
middle of the two dots.
The middle of the two dots. Okay.
That's what I'm saying there.
Okay, like so. Okay, so we know that our midpoint is up to here, but we've got to use our maths to get an exact location. As we can see here, this is this -2 here. Remember, we're dealing with x's and y's. For the x's, for this dot, we're going from -2. And then although we're going across this way, you've got to think laterally along the x's. So -2 is really stopping where on the x's? If we keep going to the right, where does it stop? 3. So we're boundaries for -2 and 3. So here, this is our line, but for the x's, I'm really going from -2.
Yeah, I get you.
To 3. For the y's, we're really going from level -1 up to 4. Let's do it this way, -1 to 4. Okay. If I was -2 and I want to go to 3, what's the half? If I'm walking from -2 to 3, what's halfway? Okay. Sorry? 0.5. Shaka says it's 0.5. 3.5. Okay.
Which way? Did you get 3.5?
No, let's just focus on the x's.
1.
Okay. Could be 1. Someone says 1. What else?
0.5.
0.5. Zaid, I think you're right.
0.5.
I think so. Zaid's going here. Look carefully, just for the x's. Going -2, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 steps, but half of 5 steps is 2.5 steps. 1, 2.5. That is correct. 0.5.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. We do it with the y. We're going up now. I'm going. Let's go from the elevator down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 levels. Halfway, Amrita. What's halfway of a gap of 5? What's half of 5? 2.5. So 2.5 steps in either way. 1, 2 here. That's half way. Or you can do it
0.5
from the bottom. Okay. So we have 1.5. Then the red and the blue. The red and the blue combine to make this here. So we have the midpoint 0.5, 1.5. Okay. Who did that last year? I just want to see if anyone did that last year. Is okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay. What's another way we can do this without a visual? See how long this took? Maths is all about being really fast. What can we do? What's the fast way? Zach is pointing. What are you pointing at? You're on the right track? Formulas on the board. Yeah. I can do this. So the midpoint. I always have divided by 2's because we're only going halfway. We cut in half. That's why it's a division by 2. We're going to add the two things for the x's. I add a -2 and the 3. For my y's, I add a -1 with a 4. What are we calculating here? It starts with A. Second letter B. An average. An average. Thanks, Barry. An average. We're averaging the two values, left to right, up to down. Okay. 3 minus 2 is 1 on 2. 4 minus 1 is 3 on 2. And we got it. It's just in fractions. Okay. Any questions with that? All right. Keep going. Okay. This doesn't scroll very well. Okay. 3 x's. Next question. Let's clean this up.
I was like 101. One day there'll be a really mashallah moment and you'll do it naturally. I'm still going.
Example 18, I've got here. Remember, whenever maths is a language. Whenever you come across a new word, I suggest you get a notebook and write it down and tell yourself, what does this mean? Determine the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular. I'm going to go random now. Don't be scared. If you don't know the question, just say, I don't know, give me a minute or something like that. Emily. Okay. So, perpendicular. Perpendicular. What does it mean?
It means they intersect at a right angle.
Excellent. Okay.
I was going to say they're like.
Okay. Okay, what's that? That's the
Parallel.
parallel. Okay, perpendicular, remember?
I was going to say they run alongside each
No. So perpendicular, they cross over at 90 degrees. Thank you, Emily.
other.
So this is what we're looking for up here, something like that. Now, I know my answer. That's why I'm doing it really accurately. So there's a line here that's perpendicular to the other line. Why must I go through this dot here? Why not anywhere else? What's the other keyword? Bisector. It's Nathan, yeah? Great. Why does Nathan say bisector? Because? Not because it's written there, good answer. But that's not what I'm after.
Because bisector means you have the two sectors, bi meaning two.
By meaning two. Got two sectors, thanks, Gabe. When they mean bisector is it's in two, but it's equally down the middle. And we know this is equally at the bottom. Why? Because this point is the
Midpoint.
exactly, Shaka. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what we're after right here.
Right.
What does my square Shaka? What does my square mean?
The square.
Yeah, that square here.
Oh, right angle.
Right angle. Good.
90 degrees. Bang.
Exactly. Okay.
Boing.
Okay, moving on. Now, this keyword perpendicular is related to another word of perpendicular. Methods is all about connections and then what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Perpendicular. We're dealing with perpendicular, an equation. Do you know anything that's related as an equation to the word perpendicular? Okay. Parallel? Not quite. Not quite. Okay. I have something that's equal to -1, Perry. What is it? Thank you, Perry. So, this equation simply means, boys, if I figure out the gradient of one and I figure out the gradient of the other, if they're 90 degrees, those two gradients, when I multiply them, will always equal -1.
What does that mean? How do you like multiply? What is -1 entail?
Okay, we might keep going, and then it might answer your question, Hassan. We'll see how we go. So we're going to change this slightly. I know it's getting hot, and if I feel we can't go to 2.2, that's okay. We'll find another way to. M1 is the first gradient. Okay. But which one is this speaking of? What can I change in as one? How else can I change that in related to our question? Okay. I'm going to rewrite it as A, B. The first gradient is the gradient of our line segment A to B. I've got it right there. I just didn't write the B. Okay. It's still -1. But we are finding this here, the gradient of this one here. What can I change to?
CD.
You could change it to CD. You could do whatever you want, but it's got to be different. In my notes anyway, I use this.
Can you just make it way easier? Just like CD.
What does that mean? It means perpendicular. Okay? This means perpendicular because it's the ground. It's a line on that ground. Once again, 90. Can't go all the way there. 90. Okay? 90. Okay. Can we figure out anything here? Gradient of A to B. What are we going to do?
Put in the 0.5.
Not quite. We're trying to find what the gradient.
So you use the 2 points of the line, which up there, 3, 4, and -2, -1. So you
Yes.
use that to then find the gradient.
Find the gradient. Thanks, Gabe. Okay, I'm going to repeat what Gabe said in a different way. Gradient of A to B. I know what my gradient equation is. It's rise and run. Okay. I know my 2 points. Got it here. I'm just going to rewrite it here. What numbers go on top and what numbers go on the bottom? Yeah, but what's my y2, y1? Emma, what's my y2, y1? What goes on here? That's okay. That's okay. What goes, Amrita? What's on top? What 2 numbers on top? Not quite. Good try. Good try. Zaid, what goes on top? 1 point.
No.
No.
You're not even a good try.
It's okay. Good try, but no.
No. I didn't make a try.
Okay, Hudson at the back. It is -1.
You hold it.
Say that's just like unbelievable.
Maya, what numbers go on the bottom? If it's 4 and -1 being used, what other ones go on the bottom? 3 and? Not quite. 3 and? We'll look at the x's. 2, -2. But more importantly, which one goes first? 3. Excellent. You've got to have it in the right order. Okay. Terry, what's the top now? It is 5. 5 and 5. The 1. Okay. What can I change this to now?
1.
1.
1 times what? That's the real question.
Okay. Do I need to fix a 1? What's opposite of times by 1, Jesse? What was that, sorry? What's the opposite of timesing by 1 to get the gradient by itself? Divide by 1. Does it change this answer?
Yes, it makes it -1. Cheers, Shagger.
It's still -1.
Yes.
So it doesn't change. Okay.
I should stop speaking now.
That's all right. You're trying. That's fine. We know that this line, the gradient of the perpendicular, which is this ruler here, we know that its gradient is -1. What?
Oh.
Okay, now.
Yeah. It's down 1 across.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's keep going, Hudson. What in your tool bag?
Right of line.
No. In your tool bag, what can you use? What are we trying to find here?
Coordinates, the equation. So
The equation.
y equals
But what-
-1x. That'll be it.
Yes, very good, Hudson.
How'd you get that?
-x.
That'll be it.
What do we need for a equation? A c. We need to find out a c. What is our c looking like for this one? Charlie. What's the c? What does c stand for again, Charlie? Uh-oh. Can someone help him? Jesse? Y-intercept. It is a y-intercept. What is the y-intercept for this ruler going through the y? What's the number that it cuts?
2.
2. Look at that, 2. That's right there. I just hit it. We should get an answer 2 if we're on the right track. Now, as we finish this, we're not going to do 2.2 today. I'll just letting you know. what is useful to find if we want to get to 2, what do we need to use? What do we need? Gabe,
You need to be able to fill in the letters.
Exactly.
Y and X.
okay. Gabe, great contribution there. We need a pair of coordinates to contribute to finding out what C is. Zach,
Wait, so did you post the textbook on campus?
did I?
Not on.
No. Oh, I think I did last year. I only did number 1.
Keep going. Keep talking.
I will
Confused.
download it and put it up. If you don't see it up there soon, can you send me an email? Okay, this is important. On this diagram for this line, Gabe is saying we need a pair. We need some information that we can input a definite y and a definite x. There is a definite number of a y that pairs off with the x. What is it, Nathan? Exactly. Okay. You need to use methods is not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to be when you do your sack. I'm not going to be in your ear and giving you advice through a microphone or anything like that. You've got to be able to extract information of what you come across. Nathan sees that there's a definite x and y together within this equation. My y is going to be 1.5. My x is going to be 0.5. Look at the magic here. What's negative 1 times 0.5? No.
How do you
One set of 0.5 is just one set of 0.5 with the negative. Opposite of a minus 0.5 on the other side is a plus, because we want to get C by itself. 2. Okay? 2. Any questions with that? Okay.
So you use M1 times M2 equals B1 for perpendicular.
Yes. Yeah. That's got to get locked in. When you see the word Hudson in your sack, you straight away write down that. This is all I'm working at. That's another way of doing it.
And is it only on the bisector as well?
Yeah. If they use the word bisector, which is related to midpoint. Good. Okay. You go again. Whose brains fried? May. We really need some aircon in here. It's
Why would it make sense? It makes sense at all. I can explain this. I reckon I'm gonna drop it.
Give it a chance.
I gave it a chance. She was actually doing this. She was just.
okay. Next question. Yes, Amrita. Okay. The bisector. What does bi mean, Amrita? To this is a line segment. It gets cut. The bisector cuts that line halfway at a 90 degree. Okay. For this one anyway. Okay. There might be another bisector at halfway, but it may not be. Okay, so just be careful. Okay. All right. Calculate the distance A to B. We want to go from here up to here. We want to count our steps from B to A. How do we do that with maths?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is it 5?
No, no, no.
That's all right. It's good that you're thinking out loud.
Correct. Triangle.
What type of triangle has
Right angle.
exactly? Okay.
Bro, why not people so smart these days? I really love them on holidays. Really? Yeah.
You did check the one.
All right. Back here, year 9 or year 8. When did you do? What are we calculating here? What is it? It's the length of the hypotenuse. What's the technique?
Space square.
Okay.
Pythagoras theorem.
It's Pythagoras. Okay.
7.07.
7.07.
Attaboy. How much did you get that?
We'll get there in a second.
Basically.
Okay. Shh. That's right. So, Zach's done it on the calculator. Great. We also need to do it handwritten, and we'll confirm Zach's answer. What did we say this was before? This length was 5. We knew from before this length was 5.
Ah.
5 squared. 5 squared. 50. Last step, as Zach said, see, it was the square root of 50.
Oh wait, that's actually easy.
Okay.
7.
Square root of 50 is roughly rounded off 7.07. Okay. Okay.
You brainiac.
Okay. That's all what we did today.
So do you have the note printed out for us again?
Yeah, I do.
Just say
Oh,
you
my
put
bad.
that.
My bad. I didn't know that time. But thank
Now, I want to explain this bit though. Square root of 50. In an exam next year, if you work it out and they say find the exact value and you do a 7.07, you won't get the mark.
What? Isn't that like the best value?
No. They want exact. So right now, this is even better. It's exact. But it's not the most simplified. It's not simplified.
So how is that exact not 7.07? I'd say that's more exact.
No, because we rounded off. If you put in your calculator, there's more numbers there. So the trick here, which is already on the screen, if you're dealing with a square root, one of the factors that multiply to 50 has to be a square number. 25. What 25 times what is 50? 2. Then we can break it up. Square root of 25, 5 root 2. That's exact. Okay? You need to. Square root means get a square number. The biggest square number that you can find. And look at that. It reduces to a nice whole number at the end. It's exact and it's the most simplified. You can't get any smaller. Okay. Any questions? And there's just a long way of doing that. Okay. That's 1.7. We'll try and find a way to catch up with 2.2, etc. You will still have a class on Monday. Your year 11 classes do get covered, is that correct? I'm still not sure. They do? Hopefully you'll get a maths teacher. I don't know.
It's Connor O'Brien.
Use the time, that period. And we've got the double on Tuesday. Okay. I need to check holiday work too, because your thing's being signed. Is due on Monday. Is that Monday? I don't want to give her that overload because she has her own class.